The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. We're back for our last episode of 2018, and we're getting ready for 2019. Happy New Year! Uriel, Laramie, Bretton, and Lenore have found the Library of Balance and brought an end to the current age. Let's hear how this turns out. Enjoy the podcast. Hi, and welcome to The Shed for Adventures from the Shed. Find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Search us out on iTunes. Find us on Facebook. We are in those places. We're continuing our Dungeon World campaign, A New Frontier, set in our world of Paradisi. We're going to go around the table and say hi quick and get back into it. Who's first?
This is Chris. I'm playing Uriel, the Immolator. I bear the torch for the group.
Oh, you are the torch.
I am, that's right. I guess somebody else can bear me then.
Okay. I'm not sure if anyone's been able to bear you yet.
Sure, we can bear you.
Hi, this is your boy, Baby New Year, Mike Robertson. Giving you that fresh new Laramie Burnsteel, Paladin Josiah.
What's Laramie's New Year's resolution?
He's going to learn how to speak Dwarvish.
He's just going to live, love, and learn.
All right, that's the reality.
He's going to spew his love out into the world.
So does that mean all of last year he did none of that?
Well, I mean,
You can always improve, Joe.
Yeah, you just roll the same thing over the next year.
Okay. Go ahead, Kurt.
And this is Kurt. I am playing Bretton Knobloch, the Ranger, with a wolf companion whose name is something related to puffy white things.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
Cotton balls.
Cotton ball.
Polyfill.
So,
And I'm Bridget.
You are.
And I'm not muted.
You're not. It's just a little low. Let's bring that up a little bit.
And I play Lenore the Cleric. And my New Year's resolution is to not die.
But you did last year.
No.
I always think of a New Year's resolution as something you didn't do already.
oh, see, I'm the
I
opposite.
did
I
not
think it's something you
Something
failed at
else.
repeatedly in prior years.
It's just something you didn't do, right? All right. So anyway, I'm Joe, and I'm the game master for this Dungeon World game we're playing in our world of Paradisi. We're going to get back into the action here, and I guess what I would say is we hit a spot where there was a lack of action for a moment. What we ended up doing was our heroes wrote into the Book of Evil, the end of the book, so good writes into the evil book. So that presumes you guys are good. That's kind of a neat thing that you were able to write that, and it worked. So it shows that you're good, right? That happened. But you wrote, evil was stopped, good took over, they all got barbecue. At this point, when you open up the library doors, you open them into a cavern, a big natural cavern as far as the eye can see, stalactites,
Filled with
stalagmites.
ribs and pulled pork.
And when you
And
look,
mac and cheese.
you look out there, you see only as far as the light of the library takes. I don't know who has light, who's going to cast light, however that's going to work. You guys figure that out as I finish this recap. It is just a place that everybody here knows almost instinctively. I've never been here before. This is all new. And behind you, you hear the bones of the dwarven skeleton fall to the ground and then just dissipate, kind of like the half-giant body did. I want to say dissipate because it's not like it just turns to dust or anything. It just gradually kind of fades out.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And that's where you are.
So he's not there to ask him again.
Just gone now. Now, hey, if you want to kill one of your party members so you can speak with Dad.
You already have my information, so I guess not.
Yeah, we
we're fine.
could just talk to each
Although
other.
maybe I will remember more.
I think I was almost dead for the last 7 episodes, but
You do kind of have to figure, if this stuff works the way it's supposed to, barbecue is in your immediate future.
Right.
Yes.
So you have to figure that.
I think I just stepped in some sweet potato casserole. We must be close.
So, speaking of that,
is that
is
your
there,
dog?
Is there a smell that overtakes this cavern at all, or does it just smell like wetness or dirt?
Barbecue.
hey, Lenore, can you cast protection from the meat sweats, please?
No, you have to take the suffering. You have to suffer through the meat sweats, and then I can cure you.
Yeah.
When you stop to get a feel for the area, you notice that there are footsteps out in the different distance. and it sounds like. Actually, I'll use a reference here. The sound of the marching and the drum beat of the goblins in The Lord of the Rings after they drop the bucket into the
Drums.
the well.
Drums in the deep.
That's kind of what you get.
Okay.
So we got a sound, but no smell.
Yeah, I mean, it smells like a cavern.
Okay. Yeah, right. So there's nothing overtaking the natural
right.
cavern.
But the whole area, you're in something else's lair.
Okay.
Could it be a griffin?
I mean, it could.
Whenever the door shuts.
Realistically, there's a griffin out here somewhere. There's a watcher.
That's right. So whenever the door shuts, does it change? Does it look different, or is it?
It hasn't shut yet.
Okay.
You guys are still in the library. You've opened the door. This is
All
what
right,
you
gotcha.
see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we leave, can I go to some of those neutral books that are about these items?
Yep.
And just like grab a couple of them and put them in my bag? Because maybe we can find them later.
You can.
All right, so I want to grab like 5, maybe the ones I can read.
Okay.
Can I take the
just put
book
'em
that
in
has
the bag.
Zareka in it?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to be a prick and tell you when you reach the door, they appear back on the shelf.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Just wanna let
I was
you
going to
No,
say you
that's
could
fine.
look in your bag and they're
Yeah.
gone.
Well, it's worth a shot.
That's what I would have did.
Can,
I mean, that's just, this is the library.
Can we-
You guys know, to your point, Bridget, when we started, somebody has to remember where did we park the library. Well, as long as you remember where you parked it, you guys know how to get in it.
Okay.
So you can go back and read the book whenever you want. This library doesn't do checkouts.
Okay.
That's fine.
The late penalties are just.
Yeah, exactly.
They're out of this
You
world.
don't want that. You turn into a skeleton and then, whatever.
All right, so I guess the question is, do we go toward the noise?
That's the only way we can go right now.
Yeah, the only way that you can go is out of the
Yeah.
library. So, well, as soon as you step over that threshold, you're in the cavern. And Chris, to your point, when you turn back, the library on the outside looks exactly the same way as it did in the
So
volcano.
there's still the runes and the doors
Yeah.
the same.
And you're just it's along the outside wall of this cavern.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it's an actual physical door still that we could come back.
Yeah.
and
So the
find
room
again.
exists just in a different location.
Yes.
Cool.
Maybe could you take your symbol out so other people
Oh,
can?
Well,
yeah.
I
I'm
assume
keeping
that
it. Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
When it opened, you kept
I
your
put
stuff.
it back.
I
yeah,
didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Okay.
Your key wasn't stuck in the lock.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You got whatever you used to open it. You got.
I would say we should proceed quietly towards the noise and keep the lights off. Take our time until we can see what's going on or hear better.
I mean, all right, sounds good. I'll go behind everyone because I am.
So
walking
nobody
past
here
fans.
can literally see in the dark. What light are you using to navigate? As soon as the library closes and the runes kind of fade in,
I don't wanna
that
use too
very
much
dim
light.
light doesn't carry more than 15 feet away from the library itself.
I mean, would you like me to cast light on a small item for you?
Yeah, something we could put away easily enough in case. I don't want to. People don't notice us.
I think you should cast light on Cumulus's anus.
Aw.
So the
Doesn't
dog can
walk
just put his
backwards.
tail down when you don't
Yeah.
want light.
And then real
Might
fast
be,
for a
might
stroke.
be a cheap
That's right.
thrill.
When the dog wags his tail, there's like this
Strobe.
light.
It's a dance party.
It's not right. It's not right.
That's
I'm
not
sorry,
right.
but
That's
I'm
not
glad
right.
I'm glad it caught on.
I would also just
dance
like to note
club
for the
is this?
record that I was not the first one to bring up buttholes on this podcast.
But you will be the last.
Today.
Today, in this podcast,
We miss you, Mickey.
today.
Mickey, come home.
All right, go ahead and cast that light spell, Mike.
All
By the way, I don't think you have to touch the dog's rectum for this to work.
Well,
No, I think
But
he
it probably
does.
works better.
I think real talk. We're not going to put it on talk, but
It says an
We put
item
it on
you,
a stone in our pocket.
item you
Right.
touch.
Yeah.
He has to touch it.
Hey Joe, when do you get when do you get a +3 at 18?
Yes. 18 is the highest you can go
Yep.
as well.
so I take
That's
a
what I
coin
got.
out of my pocket and I cast light on it with a 10 on the dice.
Awesome.
And I
Are
hand
there
it
any
to-
specific
to you.
motions or words that Laramie uses when he casts light?
I think he just sort of holds whatever item like real tight in his hand, and then it gets lighter and lighter, and then he sort of like releases when he gets to the level
Okay.
of lightness that he wants.
And I do want to point out, for those listeners who have followed Kurt's hijinks over the years, he is remaking yet another character sheet. Because his is somewhere at home, and that's why he was asking about the 18.
This is
I
even
don't
better
know-
than it was before.
Yeah, I don't know how many times it's happened, but it is more than we want to count, right? But it's a fun thing.
He's got to hold on to that noob.
I'm all
that
good.
noob title.
Kurt is always a high level of entertainment.
I have too many papers in my life.
Take a picture of it or something.
That's what I should do.
So we have light on what object?
Coin.
On a little coin that was in my pocket, and I handed it to him.
Awesome.
So
I don't
he's
know
a-
if we've explored
he's a penny
this.
pincher.
In Parandisi, what does the coin look like? What's the stamp look like on a coin? I'm going to say they're all the same. Some cities may stamp something that they want on the opposite side, but what does the front side of a Parandisi coin have?
I mean, who's the ruler of Parandisi?
Right now, you guys, but realistically, there isn't an overall ruler. It might be something to do with the land.
Yeah, is it like city-states or something like that? Or
So maybe like
Well, in
like what-
Kingsbury,
is there an
was
industry here?
Chancellor Belinda, but as far as we know, something bad's happened there recently.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. But maybe whoever, when we picked up that coin, has their face.
That would be
one
on the
side.
back side. What would it be on the front? What is the Parandisi symbol?
It's like a seal, like something with
Yeah.
jeez, it's like a shield and some cross
Banners and
swords
stuff or something.
With a big
banners
P
and-
in the
With
middle.
like olive branches around
Yeah.
the outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a shield with a couple of swords and some olive branches.
Yeah, and there's like
Now I'm gonna
P
have to draw
pluribus unum.
Yeah. E school bus unum.
There's Latin
School
on here?
bus, who knows?
It's actually Dwarvish, but no one can read it.
Yeah.
Nobody can read it. And the dwarves don't claim ownership to that at all. We didn't do it. Wasn't us. So the coin is lit.
It is so lit.
It is so lit.
Savage.
Who's holding the light?
He wants it. Yeah, I'll
You
take
want
I'll
it?
take it. I'll
Okay,
take
so
the
Uriel. We're going to go, because it's not specified in Dungeon World rules, but we're going to go with our standard. It's about 25 feet of decent amount of light, and then it's kind of dim farther out. So you just see the, again, the stalactites, stalagmites about as far as you can see, and it's just dark beyond that. You can stay along the wall on either side if you choose. You
Yeah.
guys want to walk down the middle. I mean, that's the next step.
No, I like the wall idea.
Hugging a wall.
So we'll hug the wall. And from there, even though everything's echoing around you, you know that it's not coming from your left because that's where the wall is, right? So you're hugging that wall. But those sounds, the drums, the thumping, and as it gets a little louder, you can hear there's definitely weaponry involved as well. It's like spear, the butt of spears hitting the ground, and metal armor chinking as it's walking. You know, the thunk, thunk, and the sounds of what sounds like an army coming closer to where you are. Amongst all of that, you hear a shrill shriek. Who here might understand Orcish language, Bretton? So let's do a spout lore and see if you do quite understand what's going on here.
If it's orcish, it's,
Kurt doesn't have a good look on his face.
I mean, it's 5 on the die, and spout lore is
Intelligence.
yeah, that's not gonna be good because I have +0 there, so 5.
All right. So you know it was orc. Grab a chip, by the way.
I did not pay as much attention in
Yeah.
Orcish translation as I should have.
Because there
You
aren't
know
any
it's-
hot orc chicks, so that's why you didn't care.
You know it's orc, and you know it is a pronouncement of authority, but you're not sure what the voice says.
I dim the light. This.
Okay.
Wanna,
Just close your fingers.
yeah, I
around
just
it.
want to palm it.
As things get closer for you to see, at the edge of their light,
Yeah.
the army has what looks like, so call it an army of like 6 foot tall orcs. In the front of the army, there's like a 7 foot tall orc right in the front. This guy is not dressed for battle. This guy looks like he's dressed to be a librarian, librarian orc. So he's wearing a robe. He is holding in his right hand what looks like a feather or a quill, and that is a light. It is brighter than everything else that the other orcs are carrying, and they're marching towards the library. So you guys have moved off to the side. They don't even look like they're looking at you. They're just marching towards the library.
cool. Here comes Evil Shift.
It's the next rider.
Yeah, we need to let that happen, probably.
Yeah, I guess like
Right on time.
don't cause any trouble and just try to get by them.
So we'll do a quick, call it a montage of what happens there. The orcs reach the library. That leader, or the librarian, orcish librarian, steps up, and you see him put something, using his palm, something in his palm. He puts something up against the door. Another orc comes up and adds something to it, and then you can see the library open, and that one orc is let in, and all the others, all of a sudden, it's like they were in a trance, and they're all just standing there like, now what? The door closes, and they just seem to be standing around, mystified.
Maybe we should hustle away from
Yeah,
them
let's
before
get
out
we're
of
the
here.
next.
I want to get out of here.
We want to say like 50-ish orcs.
Oh yeah,
But,
we're out of here.
yeah.
Yeah, we're tough, but we're not that
All right, you
tough.
take the 20 on the radio.
We're tough, but we're smart.
That's right. We're
tough,
even
but
with
we're
my
smart.
+0 to intelligence, I know I don't want to hang there.
Yeah, I can't.
It's not that you're stupid. You're just not as bright as you want to be.
I'm very wise. I'm just
Yeah.
not very smart. So,
After you guys scamper along the wall for a bit, you realize it looks like everything's just leading towards the same area. Who knows what the other side of the cavern is, but where you guys are, you're being funneled towards. So it looks like this is just a big open area where the library ended up, but you're kind of converging towards maybe the opposite side of where the library was.
Okay.
The wall keeps curving inward, and when you get there to the spot, there's just about a 20-foot wide opening. You can barely make out the other side in the dim light, and it looks like it just leads into an underground orc village right in front of you.
Oh, what the hell?
You can see the little, call them mud huts and stuff that you might expect orcs to live in. Nothing particularly fancy. You can see a few orc children running around, little green fires, and
baby orcs.
yeah,
Does anybody want to pretend they're Anakin?
killed all of them.
I mean, is there any like? I like looking around. Is there any like this way out to the outside world? Like
Yeah,
there's
does-
maybe a lighter part, or
does-
Like
an
right
opening?
now, no, you can't see anything that obvious, but it occurs to you at this point, you don't even know how deep underground you are. So when you're looking for what might be daylight at the end of a tunnel somewhere, you don't see any, and you're not even sure how deep underground you might be.
Is there any water source we could trail
Yes.
out of here? Maybe might be able to
There
use
are-
that as a way out.
You've actually passed a couple of different little streams of just
Right.
water coming in.
Oh, we had a ranger.
2-inch streams.
He's
or
a little out of his head at the moment.
but you can hear running water in the area of the orcish.
Oh,
I'm thinking
Ranger?
Cloud might have a better chance of figuring a way out.
Yeah.
Just by sense of smell or something.
Nimbus.
Well, we can call it Cloud.
Oh, he can't.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can definitely send him. Can't remember if Cloud is.
Yeah, I was
Check
a female,
that
wasn't
is
it?
Check the
funny.
undercarriage.
It was a female, right?
Look
Just lift the
under-
tail.
It was a her.
Just lift the
It was-
tail.
yeah, it was a her, right?
Blinded.
You still remember how to distinguish those things, right?
I gotta check.
Check yourself first,
Look, I'm
then
gonna
you
check
can
with
find out.
Laramie, who's already
Yeah.
been thinking about fingering Cloud's
I was
butthole.
not
No.
thinking about it at all.
That was technically me saying he was going to. But hey, when you got there, when you were near the rectum, did you notice any other undercarriage work?
It was a her. It was a her.
Okay, there
We
you
can
go.
use.
Wangless.
Yeah, we can definitely use her to track for sure.
She got no wang.
Okay.
Um,
I thought it was a boy.
Not
wanna-
anymore. There was a
It
transformation.
was neutered.
It was a good and evil thing.
I think it was
Hey,
always-
it's the
balanced.
21st century.
It was always female.
It's gender fluid.
Oh god.
So what you didn't know is all ranger companions throughout the world switch gender when good and evil switch sides.
That's interesting.
I don't even think the ranger knew that.
Yeah. Only when they're underground, they're one sex, and above
that
ground,
too.
they're
Yeah.
If it's
Okay.
dark out, if it's
Which
raining.
makes it difficult when they're digging under a fence to get
Yeah,
out of the
like
yard.
right in the middle.
If
They're intersex at that point.
if we're going to go through this village, I want to take out like a blanket from my bag and like wrap it around me over my head and just like make myself look just like a non-distinguishable
An orc
human.
hobo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or hobos. Yeah, we should
As far
probably.
as you can tell, the only way through here is to actually get through or past the orc village / city. We'll call it a town for now. Because it's not just a village. It's bigger than that.
Is it a hamlet?
Let's call it a hamlet because that's what orcs would call it. That's what they call little pigs, too.
Wait, is this the barbecue?
Is this a
joint we're looking
barbecue?
for?
Barbecue.
Having some orc barbecue.
I smell some Hamlet.
You guys didn't know that the barbecue would be of human flesh. That was the part you didn't know. You're writing in the
It was
book
in
of
the evil book, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we weren't specific
So do
enough.
we
It all
want to
tastes
use
like chicken, right?
Do we want to use cumulonimbus for some scouting action?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that would be a quicker way
Because-
out than us guessing in the dark.
She actually has. I hope search would cover that.
Would it? You tell me.
I think it would.
Tell me what it is, and let's see if it works.
I get to pick a number of animal traits equal to my animal companion's
Kurt's got
cunning.
rock fingers going up there. While he does
So
that.
I know I had fight monsters, and I
Yeah.
think I had search.
I'll
It
buy
was
it.
either search or guard, but let's say we had search.
All right, so I want you to play out a little bit here because I also remember Cloud being stubborn.
Definitely
Yes.
stubborn.
So how do you convince Cloud to go into an orc village to check things out?
I offer barbecue.
Arc Hamlet, orc.
Clearly, this is easy. I'm like,
And look,
babe, you got to
Kurt-
do a great
Kurt,
job here.
Cloud's been with you the whole time and knows you have no barbecue to offer.
We just wrote in the book of
He,
good and
she's
evil,
not
and
that
it-
bad. But, well, just because it's a surety in the future.
Yeah, but she knows I love to eat food and I can heat it up. So as soon as
you
we
go.
get meat,
yeah,
it's on.
I think
Barbecue's
Uriel
on.
could convince Cloud in this case that barbecue is imminent
Because I'm pretty hungry myself.
if we can just get through this orc Hamlet.
Okay.
Look, I know your master's out of sorts, but look,
Out of
food is
sorts.
coming.
Out of sorts, indeed. I'm going to type that for myself. Bretton is out of sorts.
So we just gonna follow through the village?
Well, you want
I can
Cloud
talk with
to
animals.
figure out what's going on
so
first, right?
Cloud can scout out the area and come back and basically talk to me. So if there's anything in particular we want to know, that's great. If not, we can just send.
We just
her to
need a
find
way out.
route.
I think a way out.
Out.
You know, you're right. I think it was a he. I like the gender swap.
Pretty sure it was a female.
It works.
Yeah. The
Claudette.
leaving the library, everything just changed for.
It is
Cloudy.
weird. All right. So Cloud goes off. We're going to say that takes several minutes. Do you guys have any character conversation while that happens? Anything you guys want to talk about amongst the characters? That weird stuff just happened.
Yeah, because we could technically be on the other side of the world right now, and we wouldn't know. This could be a long trip, but we were already a week away at Mount Dumas, but we'd
Yeah.
be months away.
I mean, do I
We need
look
to
any
go.
different?
You-
Do I still look like me?
well, in this lighting,
You technically, if people looking at Laramie think he looks slightly younger.
I was just going
Good.
Yeah.
say that.
Well, you noticed that.
Great
Bretton
minds
was
think
the first
alike.
one to notice it.
Very
he looks
perceptive.
slightly younger. Because when you first met Laramie, he was like a 50-year-old
Yeah.
dude. And he's looking low 30s now.
Getting
And
back
I
to where
think
he's
he's
supposed to-
27, if I remember right.
Yeah.
He's only looking about 5 years older than he actually is right now.
you dyeing your hair, that gray seems to be coming
Well, he
out.
got rid of the evil rib too.
And
No.
Yeah,
Coughed
that's
it up.
another thing.
That
that was
Yeah.
some weird stuff there. I didn't even know how that happened. I was unconscious when that happened.
Yeah, it's true.
Kinda
When you
wondering
jumped into the soul well.
Yeah.
Wondering what they're going to write in that book.
Spoiler alert.
They're going to talk about
Ow.
what Good's doing next.
I wonder if us opening the door is what caused the other guy to die. Like maybe the librarian has to be sealed in there until it's done, and because we went in there early, that's why he didn't finish.
Well, let's go open the door again and see
Yeah,
if
but
the
we
orc
could-
guy drops.
Yeah, but then we're gonna have to write like 5 years worth of evil stuff.
You're
Or
going
good.
to have to write 999 pages worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't say how long. It just had to be
I'm not
equal
up
to
for
the
that.
other
And
one.
who can write an orc?
Yeah. that's
Oh,
not gonna
well,
Yeah.
there goes that idea.
So can I send Cloud off?
Well, Cloud's
she's
already
already
gone.
gone.
Oh,
Cloud's gone.
Can I bring Cloud back?
Cloud is coming back. I just wanted to let you guys talk for a minute while this happens. And you catch out of the corner of your eye against the wall, Cloud coming back, walking backwards, dragging something. And
There better be
Cloud
barbecue.
has pulled back like the left half of a pig towards you guys. And you get the impression, because you don't have speak with animals yet, do you?
I do. That's
You-
the
all right,
first thing
so-
I took, level 2.
So you get from Cloud, cook it and we'll talk.
Yeah, so normally my animal companion, I know what it wants to do, but I can't talk
Exactly.
to it. But I do remember I took as my first thing, speak with animals.
So you get that.
Awesome.
Cook it and we'll talk.
Uriel, can you
Oh, yeah, I can heat it up.
little char grill action?
Aren't we like
A little slow
in the
cook?
middle of a hamlet?
You're near it. You're towards the entrance.
Yeah, we could.
Okay, so we
could
can
hide out.
stay
Yeah.
inconspicuous while we're roasting half a pig.
It won't take me that long.
I mean, I'm all for barbecue.
Yeah.
We talked barbecue.
Yeah. Anybody got some spices in their gear somewhere?
Somebody's
I do.
got that.
right.
Somebody's got.
I got
rations
herbs.
And,
All right.
and just mark
that
off
dry rub?
mark off a use of dungeon rations or adventuring gear, whatever you think is more appropriate.
Dry rub.
Would you have that in your backpack or in your meal sack? That's the question.
Meal sack.
Meal
Oh, yeah,
sack.
meal sack.
All right.
I mean, I would have like different herbs and stuff that could be
Okay.
used for medicinally as well as culinarily.
Are they all suffering herbs? Everything is made with a touch of ghost
well,
pepper.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
The spice
Mushrooms
is
go either
pretty
way.
heavy.
Yeah.
Like it can burn or it can be
I
savory.
can take the heat.
He good.
Oh, it's just a dry rub on the outside, so
Yeah.
it gives some flavor.
Okay.
All right.
So while this is going on, and by the way, it doesn't add any smells that are uncommon in the area.
Right.
So you're not drawing attention to yourself by smell.
That's good.
Cloud tells you that there's a shit ton of orcs there, buddy, and I took some of their food, and I think they're probably going to be angry when they find out. So good luck. But
They're
you
going to be
should
hangry.
hangry. You should be able to get through if you kind of stay to the left wall and kill a few of them.
Well, I appreciate that, buddy. And I'd like a little less attitude next time because I
haven't
I
eaten
kept
yet.
Laramie from fingering your butthole. Just so you know.
That was never on,
Why did you keep them from that? That's why I'm pissed off.
that option was never on the table.
I wanted that to happen.
I licked it clean in preparation.
All right, we went there.
Hey, just because I can do
Sounds
it,
like a
buddy,
good
you
night at
can.
the Schumacher household. Ba, 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 oh.
You
Kurt
want
is
some-
suddenly woken up.
Anybody want a leg of pig?
There's no alcohol on this table.
It doesn't take
We
it.
need
The,
more alcohol.
The general view that Cloud gives you through communication, because part of it is still, even though you can talk, you still get what I like to think of as that mental communication where you communicate back and forth via picture,
Visually.
essentially visuals.
Oui.
And the village itself, we'll just say it like you get a security camera over top, and that's kind of what you get to view through Cloud's eyes. Where the entrance is, there are definitely guards there, but there aren't any guards on this side because this side was just a cavern, and it's their own spot. On the other side, where they head towards the outside world, there are guards there, and there are plenty of places for these orcs to do everything in orcish life. The children learn and play, and the adult orcs kill each other. The children are learning how to kill each other. Plenty of all of the stuff you would expect. Everything in a normal hamlet. The other side, there are signs in Orcish, which we've established you don't quite understand all of it. How about the written word? Maybe you understand the written word better. You want to take a stab at that?
I would understand it better if I had taken the one that lets me use wisdom instead of intelligence as my spouting lore.
Well, let's find out how it works anyway. Just for kicks. You get this picture from Cloud of several signs near the other side of the hamlet.
So is this spout lore?
Yeah.
5 + 0, same as last time.
Yeah, all right. So grab another chip
I'm really not good at Orcish. And remind me what I can use the chips for, please.
to add one to any roll,
Okay, cool.
whether it's yours or anyone else's at the table.
Cool.
And you can use multiples. So the next time somebody gets a 3 or higher, there are 4 chips on the table. So between you guys,
5.
No, you have a couple.
I have 1.
5. So anybody, as long as anybody gets at least a 2,
Yeah.
which I think is as low as you can almost get, you can still turn it into a failure or a success collectively.
Okay.
Right now, you're turning everything into a failure collectively, which is nice.
It's fine. I'm just not very good at Orcish.
So there are words there. You get the impression that because of where they're staged, they're warnings, but you just can't tell what they are. Cloud's telling you they have a mine over here, and it's on the opposite side from where you guys are. And then there's this entrance over there, which eventually, as far as I could smell, it leads to above ground. Because because I could smell some plant life. But it's a distance away, probably a couple miles.
Do they have any fire pits, or is it just one big fire in the central area?
There
Or
are
they
a
have
bunch
couple?
of little fire spots. There is a pillar in the middle that looks like the fire is gradually, in the time you guys are spending there, the fire is gradually going up, like slowly. Maybe it's some kind of clock tower or something for them, something to keep time because they're underground.
Gotcha.
Well, we should eat real fast and get on through because the army's coming back. So-
Eventually, yeah.
Once they figure out, I guess we're done.
Yeah. So just try to skirt around as much as we can, then I can make a distraction with the flame.
Yeah.
And we could bust out without trying to get into a fight with anybody.
I mean, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think we should avoid combat here if we can.
Wow. That's interesting. That's actually said out loud.
We're growing as adventurers.
Took a few years, but we're there. We're so
Well,
there.
the thing is, though,
We'll see when we
I don't
get
want to have
there.
to fight
Yeah.
like how many, like 50 plus, or it could just go sideways real fast.
I mean, right now there's only a couple, so.
Yeah, but those other guys
I mean,
are not that
it's
far down. the cavern.
live and let live.
It's going
We'll
to get
just-
loud in here if people start.
So Cloud, as you got the visions from Cloud and what Cloud told you, you are going to have to kill a handful on the way out because they are there. You can't just get around them.
Right,
Not
but
as
I'm
a
trying to
group.
see if I could make a distraction with the fire so they're like distracted by this huge wall of flame. It's like
Maybe.
I could make it a little more.
They would have to leave where they are.
Yeah, I want to see if I could,
Yeah.
if we can get them to draw them away. If not, but if there's like 4 guys, we can get them down to 2. Better.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
and-
stealthy.
And I can
Cloud's
hold one.
stealthy.
Yeah, if we could do that, if we can minimize even more, because I don't
Well,
know.
it
You
sounds like it's going to be a group effort to provide a distraction.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do. Who's going to make the roll?
I will, since I'm
And you're
using
going
my
to do it as your roll. as
the
your
Zuko
move.
style thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it sounds like everyone else is going to aid, or at least attempt to aid.
Correct. Sure.
Does everybody have a bond with Uriel?
I do.
I have Lenore and Bretton do. So
Yeah, we're gonna
I have
say yes then.
2.
Everybody gets a plus. You get 2.
I have
You get
2
plus
bonds with
2
him.
then. Okay.
fancy.
Yeah.
He's always trying to
Thanks.
recruit me to the cult.
Good thing you had a plus.
Yeah.
Do we
well,
have
you
add
have
a
a
modifier
plus 2
for
because you have
aid?
2
Oh,
bonds.
okay.
If you had
So
a
I'm good.
bond with
Just
him.
bond.
Yeah.
Which you do have.
Which I do. I have one
Yeah.
with you. So 8 from me.
Okay.
I have a 9.
So you get plus 3 to your roll, Chris. Everybody succeeded, although everybody may be drawing unwanted attention to themselves, especially if you happen to not do well.
Come on, baby.
Okay. Let's see if I could, get this flame going in the right direction so they get. So
Yeah,
That's a
that-
good start.
that's good.
11.
Nice.
So you got 11 before.
Oh, plus that's even before I
So
add my
before
wisdom.
you
Yeah, so
add,
13
yeah.
technically.
Okay. What does it look like? What does it
13
you
is
do?
total success.
How do you?
I would like
how do
to
you
use that-
conjure it?
Well, no, I could already, if there's flame already existing, I
Yeah.
could bend it to my will, so I could have maybe that pillar go up to the wall, like the top of the cavern, and start going down towards where the library
So
would
you
be.
make Big Ben go haywire.
Yeah, so they can start like
essentially.
what? So they're all drawn to it,
From the pillar
Okay.
to the
away
wall.
from where we, the
Throw
opposite
the fire
direction of where
down
we
the
need
hall.
to go. You know, so they're kind of like want to see what's
Now
going on.
dash away, dash
like
away,
it.
dash away. All.
So you're drawing to the
Yeah.
opposite side
There
of the
you
cavern.
go.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw their attention.
I like it.
That's what
Okay.
you have to say. From the pillar to the wall, throw the fire down the hall, and dash away, dash away, dash away all.
Because you guys are dashing
Yeah.
away and all.
I'm skipping.
All right, so there's a certain amount of skipping that goes unnoticed by the orcs. I mean, you guys probably saw Uriel skipping.
Fabulous.
And you get past. Does anybody else have a chance of reading orc?
I mean,
I guess we all might.
what is
have
that,
it.
intelligence?
I guess
or-
technically
Pass by-
I could have a
I'm
chance.
going by spout lore in this case
Yeah.
because I always treat this one as if you know how to read it, it's because you learned it somewhere in your past. And spout lore is drawing upon.
So
your,
I
Is that
I
wisdom?
Could, yeah, so I know it's
Intelligence.
intelligence. So I could know that for some other reason. So I'll
Probably.
try. See if I know.
There's no reason not to roll it except that you
Except
just
that I don't
wanna
want to fail.
I failed horribly, so I'll take
You
another.
both rolled a 3.
I rolled a 4. Yeah,
Oh, did you? Bragger.
still. I'll take the extra point.
All right. So you got another chip.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yeah, I think.
Is there like
Laramie
a skull
would know.
on there too, besides like the writing? Maybe
One of them has.
Like to
It's
keep
clearly
out the-
a warning symbol.
So, Joe, just as an aside,
Yeah.
what keeps you from rolling there? If you fail, you get XP.
Yeah.
In our game, you get a chip.
Yeah.
There's no downside, right?
Well, that.
Well, that he can hold the failure, though.
yeah, and that's what I do. I make the failures come back to haunt you.
But does the failure have to relate to the spout lore, or is it just in
Nope.
general?
No, that's
Nope.
me saying At some point, I can just make something bad happen.
Okay.
Because right now, we've already established that you guys are getting past. So I'm not going to say, oh, well, it didn't quite work. I don't like the way that happens. But now that you're past and no one could read the signs, that's... a
Say
different
human
story.
barbecue this way.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. And you guys are headed right to where the arrow
It might say, "Do not step on."
Yeah. This way to
Black
the dungeon.
rocks.
Yeah, or the
You guys
Bachelor
are headed right
Dragon
at it.
Lair.
Yeah. So you get past where the actual hamlet is. The fires die down, and behind you can just hear a lot of orcish murmurings of
Murmur.
what the
murmur,
hell? What time
murmur,
is it?
Murmur.
Nobody knows what's going on.
Stole my pig leg. You know, that kind of
Murmur.
stuff.
You get past
Murmur.
and lots of murmurs.
Murmur.
Excuse me. There are 2 tunnels, and Cloud says to Bretton, the one on the right it smells horrible, and the one on the left eventually leads above ground.
That sounds like the way to go.
Yep. Left.
When you say horrible, you mean like dirty orcs?
It smells like crap of something I've never smelled before.
Yeah, we don't
Definitely fecal matter.
There's no reason we would go there, right?
I don't think we need.
No, I'm not.
Matter.
No need to adventure, no.
Not into the shit shows.
We're not German enough. Oh, sorry, German listeners. We love you.
Scheiße.
Ich liebe dich. All right.
It's been at least like 50 episodes before you since you brought up Shia.
Since Mickey left.
Wow.
All right, so we're going to go towards clean air.
Yeah,
Okay.
we really
It
need to
leads
get
you
her.
above ground. It takes a little while. It's a long, gradual incline. I don't know what grade I would give it, but you're going up, and you know you're going up the entire time. It's like when you get on that treadmill and it's level, and you hit the incline button twice. You know you're going up, and you've been going up for a long time, but it's very gradual. And towards the end of that, it starts to get overgrown with plant life. So there's moss and there's vines and stuff that just hang down in the tunnel that you're going through. You come up above ground, and you're in the middle of a forest that nobody here currently recognizes. And it's cold. And when you went into the mountain, you'd say it was like springtime. It feels almost like wintertime. It feels cold.
How large a forest, roughly?
Trees as far as you can see.
Is it day or night?
It is probably midday. Based on where the sun is. It's in the upper third quadrant or something. Oh, crappy reference.
So can we try to
Shut up. about
guesstimate
this.
where we might be if we're in a vast
Yeah,
forest
you got a
and where
map
the
and-
sun is? Okay,
I
we
would
could
give the
possibly be
ranger
here or here.
a good chance of
Right.
figuring something like that out.
Yeah, we might be in. It's either this forest.
I'll
or this
say
one, kind of
again.
thing.
Don't we have a ranger for this?
Now,
I mean,
based
but
on
he's out
what
of
we're
sorts,
talking
so,
about,
you know,
I would call that a defy danger with wisdom, unless you have something rangerish that helps you discern where you are.
Got a location awareness kind of thing.
No, I don't think so.
And
And I mean, we could be on the other side of the world as far as we know, right?
I wouldn't call it a discern realities unless you are really checking out the whole area. If you just want to know where the hell I am,
Yeah.
or you are, or we are, I would just call that a defy danger with wisdom roll.
Which is
because,
good.
of course, the danger of not knowing where you are is that you're just
Now,
lost.
could I help him with this one?
Oh,
'Cause
anyone
I do
can.
a lot of
I
traveling.
could ask Zoraika to show me where to go.
Anyone could, yeah. Now that would be different. That
that's
not
my-
necessarily
right.
aiding him.
No.
And can we add these after the fact or
Oh yeah, anytime you want.
Okay.
All right, so
I think
I
it'd
have
be fun
plus
if
2
you
to
add them
wisdom, so-
before and roll 2 6s.
I pull out a map,
Oh.
and
What does the map look like? And did you draw it yourself?
I think I didn't draw it originally, but with all the traveling I do, it gets more and more little notes written on it. So it's like my custom map by now.
Now, treating the push pins as notes, this is like a map someone has up on their wall with the push pins of everywhere they've been to. You kind of put notes in all the places you've been to.
Or is it a map of the order? You guys always keep updating your own map. When you come back, you're like, hey, I got this information, so you write it on your map, and you give something to the other guy, so you guys all have a...
You turn it into,
I think it's a lot like
you turn
that.
it into Cardafricus of the order.
Yeah. There's definitely like each of the order locations is marked, and then like,
Okay.
oh, this was found here. So if you, and then you, I like that you share the information.
So eventually, you guys will have
Okay.
each of the order will have a.
So we're going to treat it
update
as
map.
aiding Bretton, but based on the information you have.
And my good map helped him with a 10 on the dice.
So you get +1 without attracting bad stuff to yourself.
Awesome.
What you got?
I mean, I rolled a 4 plus 2 wisdom for 6.
That makes it a 7.
7.
That makes it no longer a failure.
I don't know that it's worth adding more to this.
You don't know where you are within the forest, but you're almost positive this is the Forest of Thorns. And this forest is on... I'm trying to remember the map, but I want to say it's on the east side of the Paradisi map, which is, I think, in the general area of where Kingsbury is, but not exactly the same, within a few weeks of foot travel. Excuse me. So you haven't been here before, but you recognize this, that there's something about the land that speaks to you in the Forest of Thorns. And it's aptly named. Almost every tree has pokey things on it. Almost every plant has pokey things on it.
How far is this from where we came out of the library? Or where we went into the library, I guess I should say.
You halfway across the world.
Okay.
Well,
Long way
So we-
from home.
Yeah.
We portalized.
Yes.
But it's sort of near Kingsbury, which is the capital. Correct?
Sort of near. Yeah, that would be the closest big city. There are plenty of little small villages and towns around.
ooh, I've
No
never been
hamlets.
to
That's reserved
Kingsbury.
for orc places.
I've never been to Kingsbury. This sounds
You could get
Like
there
fun.
with a fair bit of travel.
well.
I mean,
Where
maybe
else are we
could
gonna
there.
go?
I heard there's been something going on in Kingsbury, though. I don't
Sure.
know if it's a safe place anymore.
Is there any other things, and this will go back to character development here, is there any other things within your characters that you're seeking right now?
I'm always trying to get information on me and this symbol and whatever Jolly Gerald had in the books about some weapon. Especially that we know about these artifacts, these things that these
With the capital T.
these items and how they affect the world that we live in. I'm always up for gaining. So I mean, if Kingsbury is like kind of like the big city we know, or the biggest probably in Paradisi, we're assuming is it the biggest town?
That's what we're treating it as. Yes.
Yeah, so that would be like
biggest city, the
we
biggest
could probably
kingdom.
get more information there. So that I would have interest to go to Kingsbury.
Okay.
I mean, Laramie's sort of on the clock in a way, back where we left. So right now, that region doesn't have anyone. So he wants to sort of try to get back there as soon as possible. So going to Kingsbury, he knows that there might be boats, there might be wagons, something that'll
Transport.
travel faster.
Yeah.
So he's
Or at
all
least a
about
horse.
that. Yeah, at least a horse.
Also, they probably have decent barbecue,
Probably do.
better than this orc stuff.
Bretton.
I mean, Bretton is, as you recall, even though he's a ranger, he likes civilization, and he's trying to protect the towns and
I
cities
remember
that he
him
loves.
preferring civilization.
Right,
Yeah.
which is a little unusual, but he goes out into the wilderness to protect civilization, essentially. So to the extent that these weapons and artifacts and things that we're talking about might threaten that, he would be compelled to continue to explore, learning more about them so that he can...
What about
Potentially
Lenore?
No, I said I'm all for going to the city. I haven't seen Kingsbury,
Does either Lenore or
and there's probably an order.
Laramie have, or do you guys have? Does either of your orders have?
I'm sure mine does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the city?
There's definitely a temple there.
I mean, not that you'd know.
Yeah.
But there's definitely an
Obviously, they don't
infirmary
say it.
there.
Yeah, they don't say.
There's a cult center.
Yeah, cults.
I would say that every order that is established of any type has presence in the biggest city.
It's probably the biggest temple to Josiah is there.
That's
Like
a
a big
good point.
cathedral
Yeah.
type thing.
Unless something's happened and they kick you guys out of town.
Well, I was going to say, what's the current ruling situation?
It's kind of fluid. It's in.
You guys haven't been there in a while. The last anybody
What was the last
knows-
news? Yeah,
The
anybody
last
heard?
anybody knew about Kingsbury was it was about a year or so ago. There was a group of adventurers that came through, overthrew King Glorin because he was trying to corrupt the city, and he had his red hand bandits trying to get people to overpay on taxes and steal their money and steal their land. And a group of adventurers came in, put a halt to that. And in doing so, they helped Chancellor Belinda ascend to ruler of Kingsbury, and she had been running the city since then.
The Red Hand had a beautiful shack, if I recall.
It got fireballed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that was so long ago.
It was one of the best shacks ever, and it got ruined.
Or
Was it the Love Shack?
It improved. It
got a
was
hot tin roof.
flaming hot love shack, as it were.
Sounds like
So how far
sounds
do
like
I
my kind of
think
place.
the Forest of Thorns is from Kingsbury? You said a couple days ride?
I mean, if you're just walking, it would probably take you a week plus to get there.
Okay.
Is
It
it
takes some time.
perilous?
I'm actually, bear with me, but I'm actually trying to find the Parandisi map that Mike
Are
sent
you
me
able
recently.
to? I know you could speak animals. Do you have any summoning type of skills to get something we can ride, or I don't know.
I mean, is there any towns between here and
Yeah,
Kingsbury?
Yeah,
there's
Small
plenty of
villages.
smaller
We might be able to
places.
get a couple horses or something.
Yeah, are they friendly?
Or if there's any
Are they
merchants
orc
going
towns?
to Kingsbury, we could try to get a ride.
Yeah, no, I mean, generally I can talk with them and then I can track them, but I can't randomly summon. That's Druid.
Yeah,
are we
right.
near any main road? Because it seems like we're kind of in the middle of, or on the side of the forest now. Is
Yeah,
there
so it
any
sounds
way
like-
clear pathway towards like a main
I
road?
It sounds
thought
like
I
we
had that
don't
map
know
somewhere, too.
exactly where we are, but
I
as a
know I
ranger,
do.
I would be able to use the sun to get a direction. So, Joe, if I know that we're in the Forest of Thorns, that's remind me if I'm wrong.
You pick which direction,
Right.
and it's going to be about a half a day's walk to get to a road.
So it's west. The Forest of Thorns is west of Kingsbury.
Okay.
So I use the sun
don't
in
know
the
if
sky. I know the sun moves east to west,
You emailed it to me not too long ago,
did.
so
and I can
Oh,
find the
that's
direction that we
tiny
would
on
need to
here.
go to get
What was
to
it?
the road.
Was it named Parandisi?
The tough thing is
Yeah,
Kingsbury's
Parandisi
on
map.
an island.
I could.
Oh, well, that's going to be a problem.
Huh.
What?
Kingsbury's on an island in the middle.
Yeah, that's not a problem to get to an island.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is. So was the Forest of Thorns actually on here?
Probably not.
Oh yeah, it was.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll add it.
We just made it up.
If we can, let's say it's west or northwest of
Yeah.
Kingsbury.
Like, I mean, technically, there's a lot of green in that island area.
There's a lot of
so-
green.
yeah.
I mean, it could be on the
Yeah.
island.
Oh, yeah, and that's
So
it.
we could be on the farther side of the island, towards us.
Now, you were saying it was
Saint Angelique.
west, and that works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to go kind of east.
Yeah,
East
because
across the
Kingsbury
island.
is on the east side of the island.
Perfect.
So there's one city, at least one named city, we would pass through first.
Yeah. All right, can you send that to me? I can at least get it now and open it.
Before we head out, I
I feel
want
so
to
bad I
definitely
can't just open it here.
mark on my map that I'm adding all these notes to, like
Yeah.
the approximate location of this library,
Yeah.
just in case.
Right. We need to know how to get back here if we
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah, if nothing else, on your own map, and then Bretton, having gotten his bearings, you could find this place again.
Okay.
And, I mean, you're in a forest. This is one of those things you guys could make markings on the trees as you leave and just follow your own trail back. It's not
But
like
like a
you have
little
GPS.
firebrand and just a little brand in
Yes,
the tree.
there you go. You can easily mark your trail to find your way back here. And not knowing how long the good-evil balance is this time around, you don't know how long it's going to last, but it's there. You have that information. I want to open this. I'm making this way more difficult than it needs to be. Bear with me, folks.
Do you remember where we put Valchand?
No. I'm going to say, just to make it easy, it's going to be on the left side of the
I want
map.
to say it's up higher.
I thought it was over here somewhere, but I wasn't.
I think that might be the old map that doesn't have it
So
on there.
we're essentially going to switch what I said backwards. When I said we went from west to east, we really went from east to west. But just to give you all an idea, here's your map, and Kingsbury is there, right on the left hand.
Okay.
over this way somewhere.
So you guys are on the left side of that island, and we're going to say that island is pretty much a week of
Yeah, it's a
walking
big island.
from one side to the other. And you're going to stop every night to camp, all that, right? So it's plenty o' miles. And
Wow.
so you'll pass by things on your way there. Now, we're going to treat this as the first thing I want you guys to do is get some rest, because you haven't rested in a while. I don't know if anybody's actually short on hit points or anything like that.
I am.
Oh yeah, I
But
do
when
have
it
some
comes to
damage.
spells and all that stuff, what I'd like to do is You guys need to rest before you go. We're going to take a camp. Well, let me put it this way. You guys don't have to. If you choose to just march through the night, you will suffer exhaustion. You'll have a -1 to everything.
I think we should make camp.
No, that's okay.
I heal when we make
I
camp.
want to throw that out, right?
I mean, I definitely want to get away from the orc cave.
Okay.
Though.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I want to mention it, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to try and find a safe spot.
Yeah,
And
but there's
camp
no
out.
reason we would do like a forced march for days.
Right.
No,
No, I
just
just want-
get away
I mean, it's
from the
midday
entrance.
now, so we can go until dark somewhere
Okay.
that we think we're relatively safe to make camp.
So let's go ahead with that. We haven't made some of these moves in a while. Let's do a make camp, which is on the back of the basic rule sheet. It's special
some
move.
night
I put
moves.
several of those out on the table, so they all should have them. Kurt, go ahead and read that out. We haven't done a make camp in a while.
Okay. Make camp. When you settle into rest, consume a ration. If you're somewhere dangerous, decide the watch order as well. If you have enough XP, you may level up. When you wake from at least a few uninterrupted hours of sleep, heal damage equal to half your maximum hit points.
All right. I want to do this. Anybody who has an idea of what they want for their next level? 6. That's your 6 to 10 moves. That's your special advanced moves. If you have an idea of what you want already, go ahead and do it. If you don't, start thinking about it, and we'll pick that up on the next episode. You'll do it. When we take a little break, we'll pick that one up. We still have a little time left here. But if you know, and especially if it's something that fits in the way that you've been playing your character, go for it. Anybody who had damage, as long as you're not damaged more than half of your maximum hit points, you get them back. So you'll be at full health. And we're going to say that you make it through the night without a problem. Bridget, if you want to change your prepared spells, you can do that. Completely up to you. From there, we are still traveling through a bad area because this is an orc area. As we pick up the next day, when you guys wake up, get yourself situated, you consume your ration, we're going to call that your breakfast. You're going to start a perilous journey through this part of the forest. We're, by our map, you're going to be somewhere outside of Saint Angelique, but still plenty far away from Kingsbury.
Did you say we're going up to level 6?
Yeah, you're going up to level 6 if you know what you want to do for 6.
I don't.
If you don't know yet, then you're not going there yet.
Okay.
We'll go there in between the episodes, and you'll pick it up in the next one. I'll give you some time to think about it. In case you already knew what you wanted, we'll just do it now. Okay. Perilous journey. We're going to start a perilous journey through the Forest of Thorns to get to the road, because it's about a half a day's march to get there through the forest. And let's see how that goes. Who's going to take what roles on our perilous journey? We have, I still like to go with the scout first. Then we'll do the trailblazer, and lastly, the quartermaster. Who's going to scout?
Now, normally I would say Bretton is a scout.
He's
but
out of sorts.
He's the only one that really knows where we're at.
And you could use...
So maybe him trailblazing wouldn't be a bad idea.
Can you use your animal to help with those rolls or not for those?
I think it depends on how you did
or
the
what
animal.
you picked.
Yeah.
Although if you go up a level, you can pick another. Don't you get to pick some other extra talent or skill or something? Can't
Well,
remember.
when I work with my animal companion on something it's trained in, I can do a bunch of things, but I don't think that any of them affect what we're doing right now.
There's a move. that
Yeah,
you
none
could
of the
take too,
commands.
but
None of the commands help.
Yeah.
None of the default commands help with a perilous journey.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, there are special moves that help you with Perilous
Yeah.
Journey and with Make Camp, and I have not taken them. And
That's
okay,
I'm not
okay.
going to take them.
Because I remember what the ranger
But
I
I think
had
to
did that.
one of the things I think Chris might have been getting at, if you know the area better, it makes more sense for you to be the trailblazer
Yeah, that's
than
fine.
the scout.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what
so
Mike
maybe
was saying.
this time I'll scout and let him trailblaze, and then I mean Lenore has been our
She's
chef du
wicked
jour.
wise too.
Quartermaster.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go. I want to start with the scout.
Okay, here we go. It's a 10.
That's a 10. All right. That's
Nice.
a success. Let's go with the trailblazer.
Do I add a modifier?
It was
Wisdom.
Wisdom. So that's going to be 8 on the... Well, 6 plus 2 is 8 on the dice.
I mean, that's pretty good.
That's good enough.
Okay. It didn't fail. Yes. You
I was
performed
thinking about whether it's
adequately.
worth adding to it, but it's
Yeah.
not.
8.
Okay. So everyone performs adequately. And just as a reminder, the reason I like to go in that order, I just think about it logically the way I want to react to it. The scout is going to find out if anything bad happens first, and then you're going to find out if you get lost, and then you're going to find out if you starve. If something bad's going to happen, I'm not worried about you getting lost yet, so I just keep it in that order. Everyone performed adequately. You make your way to that road, and it is one of these that's a trade road, essentially between the far west of this island and the far east of the island. So it has plenty of wagon ruts in the road, a lot of foot traffic, a lot of horse traffic, and it seems to be well traveled every few miles or so. A little wooden road signs of this way to St. Angelique, this way to Walsh, this way to Kipps, this way to Kingsbury, what have you. And they have little numbers next to them, which, from what you can tell, and if you've traveled through here before, it is by foot how many days. It is not how many miles. So it's like it'll have Kingsbury 7 on the thing. Do you guys want to interact with people along the way, or do we want to kind of just montage right there?
If we can get a quicker way to get there, like we can get some merchant caravan and pay for passage or whatever.
Okay.
Even if it's like we say, well, your protection on the route because there's an orc area. I don't know. Whatever.
What kind of hookup would you be looking for? Somebody with a wagon?
Yeah,
or
something we could
Like
that?
a big wagon.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody coming back from delivering something that has
7
an
days.
empty wagon, or
7 days is a while.
Yeah, it's a lot of walking.
Okay.
That can happen in 7 days.
Go back here.
And then we'll ask about any news too. About
Okay.
Kingsbury and whatnot.
So you're walking for a few hours towards Kingsbury, and from behind you there are several wagons and a little caravan, a little convoy, and each one is drawn by horses, and there are people sitting up in the driver's seat. What's it called in the wagon? Anybody know? You just sit in the seat? Does it have an official name?
It probably does, but I don't
In
know
a
it.
wagon. All right. They're sitting there
It just kept on wagon train.
in the wagon seat. And so they're leading the horses now. On both sides, or they're leading the wagons, on both sides is also a Kingsbury-dressed guard. But it looks like, for those who might be familiar
Wait,
with
sorry,
Kingsbury,
on both sides of what?
on both sides of the caravan, on both sides of the wagons, on horses are guards.
Okay.
So they are being guarded. Anyone familiar with the Kingsbury garb? It looks like these are the worst for wear. Like they've been beaten, ripped, and what have you. And normal. That's not normal for Kingsbury. But that's what's coming up behind you. What do you do?
Well, hello there, gentlemen. I am
Hello.
Laramie Burnsteel. I'm a paladin of Josiah. Go, Joe. We are travelers far from home, and we were hoping to hitch a ride sort of toward Kingsbury. If you guys are headed that way, we'd be willing to pay you a few coins or do some protection duty for you if you want.
Well, I guess you haven't been to Kingsbury recently.
Not in a while.
no,
sir.
no. I've never been. Is it pretty? It sounds like it might be neat.
So I'm Phil, one of the survivors of Kingsbury.
Oh,
Survivors.
Hey, Phil.
And as one of the guards. And he tells you, we just delivered some of the survivors to St. Angelique, and we're hoping to find more. There was bad stuff happened in Kingsbury not too long ago, about a week, and some people came in and had an army of undead things, and most of Kingsbury is in fire or fallen, and we're just trying to rescue people.
Holy
You're welcome
Wow.
to help.
So
That sounds horrible.
Undead things?
I can heal.
Those a-holes came to town, and it's just been a mess since.
I mean,
So who's running the show there? Is it government's completely overthrown? What's
They're
going on?
turning it into some kind of undead water park or something. I
Oh,
don't know.
I can turn undead.
Freaking mess.
I mean, I could definitely manage some fire action.
Well, if you guys want to help, you're welcome to ride along.
Yes, we would be happy to help.
Is there any are there any ships in the bay that we could use still, or are they burned down, or what's up with that?
Just about everything that was good in the city is destroyed.
What kind of people would do that?
He said those a-holes.
Special guests on the podcast.
Those a-holes? Those a-holes would do this?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are willing to ride along and help, they'll take you along.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Josiah put us right where we need to be.
Go, Joe.
Go, Joe.
They are the worst for wear. Everybody just looks tired as hell, beat up, beat down, just trying to get back and help. When you guys join and get on the wagons, you just hear a bit more. Essentially, just a couple of weeks ago, out of nowhere, things just started happening in the city. People showed up. They infiltrated the guard. You hear some stories, whether rumors upon rumors upon rumors. So you hear that there's this 10-foot tall guy that just showed up in town and started bossing people around, and then somebody else showed up, and for whatever reason, some of the more important people in town started wearing different garments, and they were magical, glittery garments, and it corrupted the minds of the royalty in town. There was this undead horde that just streamed in from the sewers and just started killing people where they stood, and then there was just a mass exodus from the city. And the guards that didn't die are just trying to help people survive. As far as they know, Belinda and all her guards and the service, I can't remember what I named them now. The guys in Kingsbury, the Kingsbury Guard, and then the secret agents, the special agents, whatever I called them. They're pretty much wiped out. There's just some of the militia left, and they're just trying to save the good people of Kingsbury.
So there's no resistance movement trying to take back control?
They're just trying to survive.
They're just completely
first.
giving up on the city.
Well, they're trying to survive first, and then maybe they'll find a way to regroup. There's something weird that happened. There seemed to be a decent balance, and then evil just kind of erupted for who knows what reason. Maybe someone broke in the library or something. We're not sure.
Well, evil was supposed to have its way. Looks like it did.
Huh. Well, if it can't have its way some way, then it has to have its way another way. That's balance, right?
That's true. Need to fix that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely travel with you.
Along the way, there are other wagons and stuff that pass in the opposite direction, and you hear conversations between the guards about the people going in the opposite direction have a few more survivors that they're bringing along. This gives Lenore several opportunities to help people along the way. There are people coming out of Kingsbury headed towards other more safe havens that are injured and dying and might need a little bit of help.
I'll help them.
Yeah,
Help
they're
her,
definitely
too.
suffering.
By Zoreika.
Well, lots of them are suffering.
And I'll see if I can repair any weapons or armor with my skills
Oh, they could definitely
on the
use
road,
that help.
because I don't need.
Yeah.
I technically don't need a forge. I can try to work stuff with me.
The weapons seem to dull quicker against the undead because you have to hack them so many times. It's not just a stab through the heart or something. You just have to keep going and going and going. So they can definitely use some help there. And we'll kind of close this episode on that scene that for days you're passing wagons and everybody is the worse for wear, and the guards are all just tired and nobody's gotten sleep in days. It's just a miserable existence. As we're finishing up this episode, you're getting to the point where you can see Kingsbury kind of off in the distance, and the guards say, "This is as far as we can take the wagons. They'll be destroyed if we get any farther."
All right.
And that's where we'll end this somber episode. Dun, dun, dun. We can all say,
Bye!
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.